Hello Sagittarius, thank you for joining me here. This is gonna be your monthly reading for month of February. And if you're the first time joining here, this is like monthly reading where we focus on specifically on your energy. Is gonna be kind of extended, detailed, in-depth reading. And if you're coming back, thank you so much for having trust in me, and thank you so much for liking, sharing, subscribing, everything that you do. Okay, all right, without any further delay, let's get into this. I'm gonna choose one major arcana card to see what's crowning your current situation, Sagittarius. Sometimes it's difficult to, because it's just only 22 cards. I might just need to pick one if it doesn't come out. Wow. Death. Okay, let's get this thing back. Put this thing back. Whatever situation you are in, it's about to change. You are changing. You are changing fundamentally. You are changing. Death is like a major arcana, which comes right after Hanged Man. It's number 13, and 3 and 4, which is like 13 narrow down to 4, which is like all about your home, your sense of belonging, where you feel that you are mostly you. Just a sec, let me shuffle this, then I'm getting to much more detail. Alright, so death as your crowning energy of the situation you are in. I feel like with that, you are not just getting out of this situation like in a normal way. Okay, I'm just gonna call it quit and that's it. No, you are changing fundamentally. It's like almost like a not only hardware change but software change. Your like inner world, you are changing your inner where, like how you view world, how you take this, how you think, how you perceive everything's fundamental change that you are, because you're realizing that maybe something is happening to you quite, it's like almost like a cyclic way, repetition after repetition, and finally you are realizing, if I don't change myself, if I don't change the way I react to certain situation or certain people or in certain situation, nothing gonna change. You realize that it's not just from one situation to another situation, from one person to another person, and things gonna change. No, there is something that I need to change fundamentally in myself, and that's like a huge amount of dedication you are putting, and you are in the phase of complete metamorphosis. Death is in a scorpionic card. It's like a change. It's like, and this change is not, it's irreversible. You cannot go back how you have experienced your life before. So it's like a um, complete change of, like I said, like how you view things. Yeah, that's what is happening, which is actually very nice. This is, death is very therapeutic and cleansing energy. It may feel intense if you resist to this change, but if you let this change, allow this change to happen, it can feel very therapeutic. So it depending on, let's see how we are handling this, because we're gonna put this like that, because that's the crowning energy, and let's see what's going on underneath. And I feel like, I don't know, I'm getting this repetitive feeling. You feel like I had enough. There is a, I, maybe you're coming from a very dark place that you have been. Three of Cups, yeah, a sense of joy. Let me see. This like a very, polar opposite energy. Death is very intense, very somber. Sometimes it can be very, it's like, it's like a very weighty. It's kind of pull you down, because you need to go through, when you need to go through inner changes, you cannot go like happy go lucky. I feel like on the outside you are pretty, you are meeting with your friends, or you are appearing in a social setup, like with your typical Sagittarius energies, like optimistic kind of, like go with the flow kind of energy. Three of Cups reminding me that. But both of them are watery energy. But inside, I don't think this Three of Cups, you are taking that too seriously. It's just almost like a facade, but it's not like a lying thing. But you don't want to bring your personal, what's going on inside, to the world, You are going to bring it when it's ready to come present as an external way. But right now it's not, because right now you are in the process of going through this metamorphosis. You are process of changing your internal wearing setup, but externally you are coming across pretty, like as you used to be. Let's see what surrounds this energy. Oh god, yeah, Queen of Swords. Mm-hmm. Oh no. Believe it or not, before I start this reading, I kind of felt, I don't know whether you can pick that up from the way I'm speaking. My energy is kind of, it felt like, I'm not in Three of Cups energy. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm more into this energy, like kind of mellow, it's like a lot going on inside. So my energy is kind of cooperating with that kind of setup. Queen of Swords, I feel like you are, it's you are embodying this. You are realizing that I cannot, this is more of an internal struggle that you have been dealing with, and you are, I cannot run away and be all this happy go lucky and forget about what's going on inside. I cannot do that, because like I said, these two energies kind of polar opposite, and in between it sets Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords is all about, especially the way she holds the sword. Swords is all about mental energy, clarity, which seeks clarity, you know just cut to the chase, like direct in the center. You are realizing that when you are feeling all this internal heavy energy, that you feel that urge, that there is something drastic change needs to happen. Something needs to go away. The way I have been dealing, the way I have been treating my life, is not helping me to grow. And whether you are aware of yourself or not, depending on how aware you are, but you are fundamentally very attracted to growth, self growth, spiritual growth, emotional growth. That's all you are about. You are ruled by Jupiter, so it's like a lot of expansive energy that you embody, whether you realize or not. That's like your very undertone energy. And you are feeling like, with this, I always rush through this, like, okay, okay, there is a lot of internal thing going on, but I cannot really deal with this. Okay, I'm just gonna go with the flow right now. I'm just gonna go and have fun, see the bright side of the moment, and I'm just gonna forget about the shadow side. But without shadow side, bright side does not really have any significant meaning. It's like, what is a day without night? It's like the same, and you are realizing that. And you are realizing that you need to be very truthful to yourself. You cannot just escape and run away with your glowy, glittery exterior. You need to face your shadow side so that you can revolutionize, you can evolve that side. Yeah, there is a very assertive energy I'm getting. Very assertive energy, especially with Death and Queen of Swords. Very assertive energy. You are, it's not gonna be, it is. If you're already in this energy, I don't have to tell you, you can already feel that it's not very comforting energy, but you are determined to do this anyway, because you are feeling that if you do not do that, if you go back to your, like, all the time escape to your Three of Cups, like a, everything is fine kind of attitude, it's not really, you are not growing. You are just aging without maturing. You know what I'm trying to say? Seven of Pentacles in reverse. That's interesting. I feel like with Seven of Pentacles in reverse and Queen of Swords is looking directly to the Seven of Pentacles, I think you are asking yourself that, okay, you want this, but are you putting that effort? You wanna see, you wanna have to, you know that you need to change something fundamentally. You know that you cannot just escape to your exterior glow all the time. You wanna grow, truly grow, but are you putting effort? You are asking this hard, real question to yourself. Are you putting enough effort? You wanna be dedicated, you wanna be assertive. You want to be and be a two different thing. You are asking this because you are a very direct person. You are a very direct sign. You don't beat around the bush. And right now you are embodying this kind of strict directness towards yourself. Let's get some card from this deck. Let's see. What is this? Seven of Pentacles. Father of Swords. Oh my god, Sagittarius. Yes. Father of Swords, and my Father of Swords means King of Swords. King of Swords and Queen of Swords. Both of them. You are really being very truthful to yourself. But I think what you are lacking here, what you cannot bring yourself to do, is actual work. This earthy groundedness work. Day-to-day effort to really make this metamorphosis happen. You feel you drawn to, every time you try to put that effort, you drawn to this kind of exterior lighter energy, because otherwise you feel just too captivated, too much, when you feel like that you need to. Oh my god, I can feel your energy, you are getting a little overwhelmed here. But you are saying all this truth to yourself. Like, look at this Queen and King of Swords right there, and they are like guarding this Seven of Pentacles in reverse, which is like a lack of devotion, lack of actual work, putting work. Let's get a card for Three of Cups. Seven of Wands. Very Sagittarius card. You wanna, like I said, every time you feel burdened, every time you feel that, I'm not shutting you off completely, because I feel like through this process, at least speaking to yourself the truthfully, that what you need to do is happening, the metamorphosis is taking place. Metamorphosis, death is a longer process. Change, the true change, does not happen overnight, but it's taking place, but in a very slow mode. And you are getting a little bit impatient, and you are asking this question, okay, where is more, you need to put more work. The moment you try to put more work, you feel very burdened. Then you feel like everything is like, all of a sudden you are just tied down in a black hole, and you cannot breathe. And then you go for, look at this, how these pictures are, this Three of Cups, and this, you feel this Seven of Wands. Wands is all about work, Wands is all about action. You do all this action, and then you feel like if you are just stuck in this black circle, and then you reach out for light, and then you go for this Three of Cups, lighter energy. But sometimes what's happening, when you go out there, you stay there for too long, then you get distracted, that you need to do some work in order to do you need to change something. You cannot just like, this is a very tricky, because you feel boggled down in this, when you put too much of energy into this change, and then you look for air, then you look for some breathing air, and in like fresh air, then you go out with your exterior wit and exterior like kind of light-hearted, kind of little bit like playful energy, and then you start liking, then you, because that's your natural habitat, and then you stay there for too long, then you ask yourself this harsh question, what is happening, why you are there, when you know that you need to do this, you need to make these changes, and you are not putting effort. Then you come back, because your self-awareness is on point. You know exactly what you're doing, you know exactly why you need to put effort, you know exactly why you go to Three of Cups. Your self-awareness is like 100% and 200%. So then you bring yourself back to this, and then you do some stuff. Okay, let me get another card for Seven of Pentacles, because I feel like that's a very vital energy here. So many cards. Get out. Okay, let's see, what is this? Ace of Cups in reverse. Okay. Yeah. Because that, because this is death is water energy, like I said, even though this process is taking a toll on you, you feel that sometimes you need, you miss this light-hearted kind of playful energy that you are usually, that's your go-to. But you also know that if you don't do this groundwork, you're emotionally, you are not satisfied. This gives you a airy breeze, you go out with, you have fun with people, you talk to them, but there is no emotional depth, and you are looking for this emotional depth. But you cannot have that emotional depth without changing something fundamentally within yourself. And you know that there is a promise of emotional fulfillment there. Ace of Cups is all about emotion and sensitivity, and you are looking for that, and you know that if you go through this, this changes gonna bring you this Ace of Cups, emotional fulfillment, emotional satisfaction, where you can express your emotion, where you can talk with someone with your, from the place of heart, from your heart chakra, complete truth. But right now, because of this back and forth, you also know that if you don't put effort, Seven of Pentacles in reverse, the moment you stop putting effort, Ace of Cups, you also feel that you are gonna miss out this opportunity. You feel like not even opportunity, here is no opportunity, it is a process. You feel like if you don't go through this process diligently, you're never gonna have that, this bleak sensitivity comes to you, and you feel like you're never gonna have that emotional satisfaction, emotional depth, emotional longing that you are looking for. And in order to have that, you need to change yourself in a certain way. Let's get more card on what is let's see what are the areas that you're trying to change. What is this that you're trying to change? Okay, we got Seven of Swords, Lot of Swords, and Ten of Swords in reverse. Okay, this is the where you need to change, because that's what I asked, right? So let's put it this way so that we have enough space. This is what you are trying to change. 10 is also a completion, and the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords has the little bit, look at this. There is like I'm getting the same kind of energy that you are dealing with right now. This is your struggle. Your struggle is that you, how can I explain this Seven of Swords? You have all these swords are all clarity, right? Mental energy, intelligence. You have all this clarity, but then you don't act. It's like all knowing, no action. That's what you are trying to change, but while you are trying to change, you are getting into the same pattern. But you are trying. This is happening for quite a while, I can tell. You are quite persistent with that. And ten of Swords in reverse, that's good. Most of the time what happens, maybe you have heavy air element in your chart. Most of the time you get so much caught up into your mind that it really paralyzes you. It's like so much thoughts, and thoughts has no beginning and end. It's like it's kind of chaotic thoughts that you get, it kind of blocks your vision and block your clear thinking, and then you feel kind of, I don't even want to go there. and then you kind of sit on this swords and just look at this. You see, this picture tells a lot. It's like sitting on this swords and one eye is opening and looking but not really moving. It's like, I know I need to do, but I'm not gonna do it, because if I start this, it's gonna go from 7 to 10 of swords, and then it's gonna block all my vision. I'm gonna be overwhelmed, my mind gonna be all blocked, I won't be able to see anything clearly, and I don't know, then I will not know where I am and what I'm supposed to do. And that's why maybe you go back to this 3 of Cups pretty often, because I can understand when you're dealing with such a heavy energy, you need some air, and you go to 3 of Cups, because that's where you breathe. It's like, okay, it's like but 10 of swords in reverse, which is a good sign. I feel like through this process that you are going through right now, initially it used to completely blind you, completely overwhelm you. 10 of swords is an extremely heavy, painful energy, but it is in reverse. So it's like you are not going there anymore, even though you are going back and forth. But if this process is not, it's not like taking you to 10 of swords kind of energy, but you are still having this 7 of swords energy. Interesting. So it's gonna be a long process for you, but you are working through it. See, from 10 to 7, you lower down your mental anxiety, and you are bringing more clarity, because with King of Swords and Queen of Swords, you are pretty clear about where, that before you did not know that where to start, where to end. Why your mind is so chaotic, why it gets so chaotic that you cannot see things clearly. When you don't see things clearly, when you don't understand things clearly, then it's very hard for you to bring your emotional side out, because in order to bring your emotional side out, you need to feel safe. But if you're feeling chaotic and not clear, and it feels like you are in muddy water, then you cannot bring your heart chakra out. That's why you are craving. That's why you realize with King of Swords and Queen of Swords, you realize that you need to fundamentally change this. So this is a good thing, very good thing, that you are realizing, identifying what needs to be changed, where work needs to be put. Okay, it's not a one day game. In order to form, to be consistent and put this kind of honing this earthy, like, consistent energy and putting effort, that takes time. But I think you're just going back and forth, but you are doing okay. This is a process of evolution. It's happening. But look at this 10 of Swords in reverse. That means it does not get you in 10 of Swords kind of mentality. Even though you still feel 7 of Swords, you feel like you need to sneak out of this situation whenever you feel overwhelmed, and you go back to this 7 of Swords, and 3 of Cups is very much linked. Then you go back to your like playful energy to get some, and then I want to forget what's going on underneath, but you are not as overwhelmed as you used to get. That's a very good process, very good progress. Okay, let's get some card from this. Let's get a card. Okay, I need to change the battery. Let's see. What's going on with 7 of Swords? Yeah, 7 of Swords, I got this Chariot. You really want to move forward. You really want to embody this horse free spirit, where you are not kind of shackled down by all these overthinking thoughts, no clarity. You want to have that. Chariot is major arcana. You want to move forward with your true passion, like with Lotus, which is like a watery energy. Chariot is also ruled by Cancerian energy, which is also water. So from this I really feel like that you are really looking for this emotional development, emotional freedom, where you can really express yourself, because I feel like you really want to express yourself emotionally to someone or to in general. But this kind of thought process not letting you do that, but you are working towards it, you are maneuvering through this process. Because seven of swords, even though you are not fully there, but intention is set, you really want to move forward with this. And two, like death is major arcana, chariot is another major arcana, and both of them is about death is transformation, chariot is movement, pure movement. True movement only happens when there is a true understanding of oneself. Through death process you are trying to do that, so your intention is very clear. I just want to tell you that please don't lose hope, and please don't beat yourself up. You are doing, it's a long process, you are on the process. You have to give yourself a little bit of credit and appreciation, and it's gonna happen, because your intention is very straight. And I know when Sagittarius put their mind in, it's like there is no going back. With two queen and king of swords within yourself, which is constantly telling you where you are going right and where you are going wrong, it's gonna happen very soon. You just need it. Perseverance is the word I just heard that you need to hone right now. Let's get more card. Let's see what else we can get. Nine of Wands. Yes. Yeah, you are tired. You are tired to be captive within your own created cell. You feel like you are combating with yourself all the time. You feel like you yourself is the biggest enemy of yourself. But there is a lot of, in order to understand this kind of things about oneself, that's a major improvement. That's a knowledge, just knowing. If you don't know the problem, how can you solve the problem? But you are getting, look at this, with queen of these swords, queen of swords and king of swords, you know that you need to put effort, you need to be more consistent, you need to be more diligent. You know that you want this emotional fulfillment. In order to have this emotional fulfillment, you need to put this effort. You also know why you go back to three of cups, because you need some air. You also know how you kind of captive yourself within your own ego, within your own pride. You also know that you go back and sneak, and you get lazy with seven of swords. You also know that you are also not getting as overwhelmed as you used to be, as you started this metamorphosis, as you started the transformation process. You also know your intention of going forward with free spirit. So there is a lot of self actualization, there is a lot of self awareness there. I don't think it was there before. I don't think you have experienced this kind of self awareness in a massive way before. So you need to pat on your back. Let's see what else we can get. Yeah, 10 of cups. See, right under Ace of Cups. You want this emotional. You are fire sign. You are not that emotional, but maybe you have heavy water, or even if you don't have heavy water on your chart, that's what you are seeking. That's your heart wanting. You realizing without that emotion, you feel empty. You feel there is a sense of void in your heart. and you are really looking for this kind of emotional harmony, and you are very, very determined to get that. It will be a minute before you get it, but you know what's going on in the process. Yeah, I think, what else I can say? Alright, Sagittarius. Um, Perseverance, yeah. Perseverance is your word. One day at a time, one day at a time. You are doing pretty good. I know that you have a big vision and you wanna, you see this bigger picture and you wanna get that picture in one canvas immediately, and sometimes that's not possible. In order to get that big picture on a canvas, you need to brush, there is like a lot of pen brush involved, lot of brush strokes are involved. You are right now working on those strokes. Soon you're gonna have the whole picture, but right now you need to work on these strokes. So just take it as a process, one day at a time. But I'm very, very glad to see that 10 of swords in reverse here. You don't get as overwhelmed. It's not as chaotic as it used to be. You are sorting throughout. You are clearing this path. You are seeing light, and you are very determined to get this emotional expression that you have hard to express right now emotionally, because your brain, your mind doesn't allow you, because it's just all caught up in different kind of what if this, what if that, anxiety, overthinking, a lots of other stuff, which is not really productive. Not only productive is a maybe not the right word. It's not really helping you to see this and feel your full potential and feel your truth, and speak from your throat chakra and your heart chakra, which is all about your truth, what lies in your heart, where you find all the answers. And you know that you're not gonna find all the answer in your mind, you're gonna find all the answer in your heart. You're trying to make a path so that you can access your heart as truthfully as you can, so that that's why you are going through this process. Alright, Sagittarius, I think that's it for now. And if you like this, please do subscribe, and I will see you next time. Okay, take care.